So we're just going to rip this air cleaner off, stick the Thunder manufacturing one on. It's got all the stuff inside, you have to take it all apart, and I don't know if it comes with instructions, but we'll just figure it out as we go. So there's 3 holes, take them screws out. Need a little Allen 4mm Allen. Next thing, once you've got the cover out the way, get the air filter out. There's another 8mm 3 screws. Okay, now the filter's out the way, we can access the other Allen, well, these torque screws. There's one up there, one down there, another one there. So there's three of them. This one's held on by T30 Allen screws. It's a bit of a hard time getting over that lip there on the throttle body, so just take your time. Try not to force it too much, but you might have to just to get it past there. You've got the throttle wire, unplugs out of there, you just squeeze them with them 2 fingers. Unplug it from that little cable guide bracket there, and then let it hang down so you can get the other 3. Well, there's 2 Allen torque screws up the top. There's another goldy one down there, it looks like an 8mm. Oh, and you have to take your throttle body off itself now that it's unplugged. There's a little boot at the bottom you can remove to get that out when the time comes. Once you've got the 4 screws out, you can get the last backing plate and push this boot in. As you can see, it's half collapsed there, just to sort of get that out of the way, and you'll be able to remove the rest of it once that boot at the top is off, because that goes through the frame and it's a little bit tight. I might have to lift the tank up. Didn't have to lift the tank up. There's a little backing plate that just pops off, and that'll allow you to lift that out the way. Oh, there's a vent at the back, a vent hose you have to carefully unplug. Just push it through like that, it should come out. Now I've got the vent hose out. You can pull that last backing plate away, but there's another bracket that you have to take off. It's a rubber thing that goes up to the frame, to intake. Probably won't need that. You just got to take this bracket out of the way, push the wire through, unbolt these 10mm bolts, and then nearly there. Got this, as you can see, it's a bit offset because the rear cylinder sticks closer to us in the back, so it's like that, just so you know when you put your new spacers on where they go. And looks like this rubber boot is held on by some screws up there. Don't know if you can see them, but so I might have to lift the tank up a bit just to get that out of the way for the new install. Okay, so I've been able to access the screws there and there just by taking the seat bolts out and sticking this Torx hex wrench, whatever you want to call it, just to lift it up a little bit. That way I don't have to undo anything that's needed to be undone, the fuel lines, because I don't want things to leak or anything. So I'm not going to take the tank off today, so we don't really have to. We can get access to everything easy enough now, so move on to the next step. So we've got the boot out, and just had to sort of let the clamp come down about ½ an inch and then lift the tank up to get to sort of lever it out, or wedge it out rather, and it came out pretty easy once the tank was lifted a little bit more, just at that last step. So in the front one I had to lift the tank up a bit as I was undoing it, because there wasn't quite enough room, even with that thick Allen key that I used eventually in the tank bracket, so we should be ready to install the new one. Just make sure your pipe's still in there. On to the next step. Just going to take the 11mm nuts off, nylox, to get all the stuff inside. So I've got the backing plate apart, and everything's inside, including the instructions. So they didn't actually detail how to remove the stock air cleaner, so you haven't watched this video for nothing. So we'll start putting them back together now. Looks like we need to use the original O-rings from the stock backing plate to put on the new support bracket, which is this one. There's one in there as well. Looks like we use both of them. Right, so I've got the short ones facing the back for the back cylinder. I've got the O-rings on either side there. They come out the stock backing plate. We're just going to loosely mount it to the cylinders, using the spacers in between. And use the smaller spacers on the back as opposed to the longer ones for the front cylinder. I'm going to use some blue Loctite just to make sure it doesn't come out in a hurry. Now you want to put this support bracket on with the bolts tightened up evenly, because you don't want the O-ring on the inside there to get squished or damaged sort of thing. So just make sure the spacers are spinnable, a little bit harder the back ones, but more so the front, before you start tightening them all down securely. You're going to put this O-ring onto the throttle body. That's the O-ring that comes with the kit. So just, as you can see, I'm an Indian mechanic, just kidding. But yeah, it's not rocket science, this stuff. It can only really go together one way. So that's on. Now we get the backing plate. Just take the filter off first, and then put that onto the I just remembered to put the installed crankcase fitting into the back of the new backing plate, and then we're going to reconnect the fitting on the throttle body. Place the backing plate onto the throttle body. So I've got one screw in the back, need another spacer. You're going to have 4 spacers rather, to use the new black Allen bolts that come with the kit to install the backing plate through the throttle body. I've discarded this, won't need this, so I'll just sell that on eBay with the rest of the original junk. Got the wire hanging in between the back. I'm not sure if it's going to need zip tying up out of the way so it doesn't melt on anything. But yeah, so far so good. We just routed this into the stock vent tube for your breather up there, and looks like it should go straight up, but I might just turn it slightly because it looks like it's on a bit of a wonk. So that's it. You can fit a spanner onto the nut there and just sort of twist it to where you feel it's straightest, so it's not going to leak, and oil all over the place. And yeah, just keep going on with the install and show you stuff that you might want to make a note of. Yeah, I'm just going to put some more Loctite on these screws here. Don't want them backing off and leaking air, so it's pretty important. It's better than over tightening them, so the alloy, we'll be stripping heads and stuff like that. Okay, so I've got the backing plate all done up now. It's probably better to put this one in here because you've got all this stuff. Put the spacer in there first with that bolt in. Might make it easier because the rest of them, they're pretty easy to access the spacer position. I found this lower one, the front, was a bit hard, a lot harder than the others, so put that one in first. And also, as I was mentioning, this one here, this wire for your throttle injection, whatever it's called, it seems to dangle right as long as you got it back in that little that bracket there. Just put the light on so you can see it. Put it back in the existing bracket, and now it's just a matter of making sure these are tight. Just tighten these evenly. You don't want to strip nothing or have that seal squished. So just slowly and cross diagonally when you tighten them up. And you can use a 18mm just to move that around. It's sort of straight up and down now, that bent, and it seems to line up better. Alright, so it's all back together now. I've sprayed some of that, you can see it's a green oil because it says caution, you spray oil before use, so I figure I might as well. So it's green, not pink filter anymore, which is another bonus. I'm just going to tighten up the two 12mm, and should be good to go. I'll just put the tank bolts back in, the seat and the side covers, and should be ready to ride. It's already had the stage 2 tune. I got that done with the options of the intake and the exhaust, so I could ride it around until the intake came. It took about 5 weeks because they were on back order making these smooth covers. I didn't want all the Indian or Thunder Power, whatever they had on there, so Thunder Charged. I just wanted to do, like an old school stock looking thing. Always put a decal on it or something, maybe one day, but it looks alright for now from what I can tell. And yeah, it looks like there might be a bit more leg room there. It looks like a carburetor now, not some bedpan like the stock one used to. So yeah, thanks for watching, and click to subscribe for more.